everybody. Welcome to our October edition of the Personal Peace Procedure Wednesdays with Wonderland Free Community Tapping Circle. The community voted on powerlessness for today's emotional theme, and I was just sharing how I think it's very appropriate for this time. And as you know, we work on specific events. So go ahead and start thinking about a time in your life, either recently or in the past, where you felt this sense of powerlessness. Go ahead and start filling out your worksheet. And just a reminder, our agreements in here are unconditional positive regard. Make sure that you have your water and any tissues, just in case the energy feels like it wants to move in that way. And try to not make it your biggest tea trauma for today, just because you don't have the one-on-one support you normally would have with me, but something that feels like it would be a safe thing to process and hopefully alchemize and or release in today's session. So those are our agreements. Be sure to sign into the portal if you haven't already, where you can get access to all of the past recordings, the worksheet, the Zoom link. That's at offerings.amandawonderland.com/PPP hyphen WWW. Okay. So powerlessness. When we feel powerless, we can sometimes feel like a victim. And just like the F word, forgiveness, this is one of those words that I try to avoid because it can be very, very triggering for people to think that they're being a victim. But when we're not standing in our power, we are being thrown around by the struggles of life, and we are feeling like we're not anchored in anything. So that's what we're going to work on today. And it can be very relevant in our lives if we have been victimized many, many times in our past. If we grew up with abuse, if we've been in a relationship with abuse, even if our ancestors were victimized often. And this is something that I've discovered through my ancestral trauma healing. The women in my family very much felt like victims to the men in their life, to their life circumstances. When they couldn't have a bank account, they couldn't have a job. And so this is something that we may even be carrying over in our DNA and just in the way that we were raised to respond to life circumstances. So a lot of love and compassion around everything that we're going to do today. And sometimes it leads to us feeling like we can't do anything about it. It's just kind of that throwing our hands up in the air and just feeling like I have no power whatsoever. And you know what? Sometimes that's true. Sometimes there are things that we cannot control in this life. The one and only thing that we can absolutely control is our response to these things. And that's what EFT is here to help us with, to help us get out of those trauma responses, out of fight or flight, get our prefrontal cortex back online, achieve a sense of neutrality so that we can stand in our power even when there's nothing that we can actually do about the situation other than bring some calm and safety into our nervous system. So we're going to be open to embracing the power of our response, if nothing else, that we have that little gap of time between stimulus and response to decide how we want to approach whatever's coming our way. Okay, so look at your worksheet. What event is coming up for you? When was a time recently that you felt powerless? It can be a future event as well. It can be that day that we get the election results. And I'm not here to talk politics. I'm not here to say one side is better than the other. But if you have a side, you obviously think your side is the right side. And if that's not the side that wins, it might create a little bit of powerlessness in you. So it could be with the person, it could be with a situation, it could be at a specific time in your life. So I'll be quiet now and give you guys a little bit of time to fill out your worksheet, go through your aspects. What were you seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling in that time? And especially, how does that feel in the body? Yes, it can be way, way in the past. It can be pre-verbal. It can be something you don't actually have a cognitive memory of, but your body is remembering it. Your body is holding that energy in there. So yes, as long as you feel safe to approach this in a group setting, it can go way, way back. If you're already feeling a little bit of triggering, just thinking about it, we have our sore spots. These are my favorite when you're writing. So you can just put your non-dominant hand on your little neurolymphatic pad and start to soothe yourself as you're remembering everything that went on. Relaxing your tongue and slowing your breaths down. Love your beautiful faces. Thank you so much for all of them. So happy to have all of you here. For those of you that are done, it looks like a lot of you are. If you aren't, no rush. Continue working on your worksheet. I just wanted to share with you something that Bev Nuremberg, one of our most seasoned practitioners at EFT Universe, taught me at the Omega Institute this year. And she really likes just grabbing around the wrist area and squeezing. And in this way, you're activating and stimulating your triple warmer here, plus all the ones that we tap on when we do our finger tapping. And you're also getting into your pericardium, which is the one that we use when we do our wrist tapping. So this can be such a calming way to bring some regulation to your nervous system, especially in a public place where you don't necessarily feel comfortable tapping on your eyebrows or under your nose. So let's just try it right now and just notice what happens in your body with a little bit of a firm grip around your wrist. It works on both sides. So we'll just do maybe 4 nice calming breaths, slowing them down to at least 5 seconds per inhale and exhale as we just hold around one wrist to begin. Relaxing your tongue always. And once you've completed your 4th breath on that side, let's just make it even for a little symmetry. It just works so quickly for me. And you'll notice people tend to stand like this when they're standing up. It's nothing out of the ordinary. No one has to know that you're experiencing stress at this time. It's a really nice, subtle way to regulate yourself in public. Hmm. Good. Okay. Now just allow your hands to relax when you've completed that 4th breath and just take note. Take note of what's changed in your body. Have you noticed your shoulders relax a bit? You're breathing a bit more fully. That's interesting, Richard. Wearing wristbands when you play tennis. That makes perfect sense that it would make you feel more relaxed and confident. I love that. So, yeah, just another little tapping hack you can put into your daily repertoire. All right, let's get started, shall we? On the side of the hand, even though I feel powerless in this situation, remember to say it out loud if you can, and remember to change the words if they don't resonate. I'm open to remembering how powerful I really am. Even though I've forgotten how to stand in my power, I am willing to pivot my mindset today. And even though my powerlessness makes me feel like a victim, I'm ready for an upgrade. It is time to stand in my power and be a victor. Good. Let's honor the truth of the moment. So we'll go to the top of the head and say, this feeling of powerlessness. Eyebrow. Maybe I've given my power away. Side of the eye. Maybe others have taken my power away. Under the eye. Maybe I had to conceal my power to stay safe. Under the nose. Making myself small. Under the mouth. Afraid to live in my power. Collarbone. Feeling out of control and like nothing I do makes a difference. I'll go under the arm, maybe blaming others for my state of mind. Let's get those rib points in, those liver points right underneath, forgetting that I'm steering my ship. We'll move straight to the wrist from here, giving my power to things and people outside of me. Just moving down a few inches here. Maybe I learned this way of being. And you can switch sides. Maybe I inherited a victim mindset. And we'll go up and down the sides of your thighs, just tapping from your hips to your knees, up and down that gallbladder meridian. Maybe I've forgotten that I have a choice. Top of the head, feeling like someone else has to change in order for me to feel good. Eyebrow, feeling like my circumstances have to change for me to feel good. Side of the eye, like someone else has to fix it. Under the eye, because I don't have the power to do it. Under the nose, like I'm being pushed around by life and by others. Under the mouth, and I am sick and tired of this. Collarbone, I see other people standing in their power. And I want that. I really want to know what that's like. Under the arm, and I'm open to experiencing that today. Good. Now let's go through your event. We'll go to the top of the head, going through your aspects, take yourself back there. What did you see at that time that you felt powerless? Feel free to close your eyes if that feels safe and allows you to connect more and visualize. Good. Eyebrow. What did you hear in that moment? Did someone say something to you? What else might you have been hearing in that moment? Side of the eye. Any smells or tastes that come in with this memory? Under the eye. Did you feel anything on the outside of your body? In your hands, against your skin? Under the nose, what does that feeling of powerlessness feel like in your body? Where does it live? under the mouth. And what thoughts do you have about yourself, others, and life in this memory when you feel this powerlessness? What beliefs may you have formed as a result of this event? Collarbone, all this powerlessness under the arm. And I'm open to the possibility that I don't have to live this way anymore. Side of the hand. And even though this thing happened that made me feel so powerless, I have compassion for what I've been through. And I'm excited to remember my power in all situations. Okay, hands on the heart, tune in. You can shake it out, you can move a little bit, do a little stretching, grab some water, and tune in. We only did one round on your event, so it might be nice and bubbling from shining that light on it. So, whatever your numbers are what your numbers are right now. We'll work a little bit um, with some metaphor and analogy and what it might feel like to step into your power. And then that will allow us to tune into whatever resistance you might have to letting go of this sense of powerlessness, too. So let's do a little check in first, though, and just see how everyone's feeling now compared to when we first started. Were there any changes in your number? And if so, what were they? Good. Good, Diana. Thank you for sharing. We're going down one set at a time. Thank you, Richard. Good. Going down three. Roma's at an eight. How does this powerlessness feel in your bodies right now? Does it feel like something you're really accustomed to, something that you live with quite often? Good, Judy. I can breathe easier. That's great. It's fear of future. Okay, good. Good revelation there. Yep. Sadness comes up. Very, very normal part of the healing process to grieve who we once were, what we've been through, what we put up with. Tension in my solar plexus. That's the perfect place for this, right, Richard? Yeah, I was telling my swap partner before this when I was doing my session as the client, it's like bubbles happen in my solar plexus right before I'm going to up level. It feels like I'm passing gas in my solar plexus. It's the strangest sensation. But I know, okay, this means there's a massive up level coming, and this is really good. Just moving some stuck energy around in that power chakra. So this is good. It feels familiar in my belly and shoulder blades. Already had a cognitive shift, Erica. I feel more forgiving of me and the situation. Beautiful. New emotions coming up, sadness with a couple of you. Francesca as well. Fear, thought I have to stay hidden and saying nothing, being understood is so difficult. Yeah, good. And Roma, it's in your throat. Okay, so let's keep working. Um, Kelly, so nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. A snail that has shrunk up inside its shell. Beautiful, beautiful. And Joe's already less attached. Good. You guys feel free to keep sharing. I'm going to definitely have you share after this little exercise because I don't have any words written for it yet. So I'm just going to use your exact words because I wanted to see exactly where you guys are. So let's do, what can we do to just stay regulated that might be a little different? Let's do some havening bilateral tapping. If this feels okay to you to just wrap your arms around, first we can start just loving ourselves because this never feels bad. This always feels really good. Just give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then you can continue doing it this way if you'd like. And then there's also this possibility to do some bilateral tapping as you just get nice and comfortable. We are just going to experiment and see what this might feel like. So go ahead and close your eyes and relax your tongue and imagine for yourself what it might look like in front of you to step into your power. So this might look like a big circle on the ground full of white healing light that you literally step into. It might feel like ascending the stairs of a podium and standing in the spotlight and allowing people to see you for all that you are in your authenticity and vulnerability. It might feel like standing tall in front of a perpetrator, initiating a conversation with someone, remaining unflappable regardless of what comes your way, and staying even keeled when you're triggered. So just imagine what that might look like. It could be different for everyone. And then notice any resistance that you might feel in your body right now to going there, to stepping into it. Notice where that resistance stays in your body. My brain says it will hurt. Yeah. What else is happening with you guys? I have fear of the future already, sadness, and I have to stay hidden. It's difficult being understood. What else is coming up in your resistance? It can't be true for me. So it's not possible. Yeah. Moving from trying to please others to pleasing myself. Yeah. Should come to the people pleasing tapping circle that we're doing in about 3.5 hours. We'll be people pleasing tapping later. Why is it different for me? Good. Good. I learned to have to give them, I had to give them my power by not using my voice, or I had to give them my power by making sure I did what they wanted to ensure I felt safe. My body is freaking out. I'm not safe. Using my voice is not safe. Living my authentic life is not self-releasing, people-pleasing. Beautiful. Yeah, white can be very, very healing, Roma. I tend to resonate more with the golden healing light, but a lot of people really like a white light as well. Okay, so not safe. Throat is closing up and I feel resistance. I don't deserve it. It's not possible. And why is it different for me? I like those. All right, so let's roll those all into a couple of rounds. I'll see if I can fit in as many of your words as I possibly can. Even though I don't feel like I deserve to stand in my power, and that it's better to please others than to please myself. I know this is simply programming, and I know this tool can help me reprogram. Even though I wonder why it's different for me, and I'm not sure if it's even possible, I'm willing to try something new anyway, because this way is old. I don't like it anymore. And even though my brain says it will hurt to stand in my power, I may get hurt. I may be rejected or abandoned. And that scares me. I give my body permission to relax anyway. And I'm open to a new way. Top of the head. Maybe I'm not allowed to be powerful. Eyebrow. Maybe I just want to scream, but I am not allowed. Side of the eye. I had to give them my power by not using my voice. Under the eye. I had to make sure I did what they wanted to ensure I felt safe. Under the nose. And maybe I don't know how to do it differently. Maybe it all feels like too much. Under the mouth. And maybe it feels easier just to stay small and hidden. Collarbone. My body is freaking out. Oh, using my voice is not safe. Under the arm, living authentically is not safe. Top of the head. And I'm open to embracing this white healing light. Eyebrow. My throat might be closing up. Side of the eye. This resistance down my spine. The back of my neck. Under the eye. All these sensations in my body. Under the nose, when I imagine stepping into my power. Under the mouth, when I remember my power. Collarbone, and I have compassion for all of these sensations, for all of this sadness, all of this fear, and all of this low self-worth. Under the arm, I honor and accept myself right here and right now. Good. Let's do some eye rolls. You know they're my favorite. So we'll go straight to the 9 gamut point. Take a nice, full, gentle breath as you close your eyes. Keep your head steady as you open your eyes and look hard down to the left. Come back to center. Look hard down to the right. Come back to center. Eyes roll all the way up to the ceiling and slowly begin to circle your big imaginary clock, nice and slow, all the way around, hitting every single number on the way. Scraping the edge of your peripheral vision, doing 3 circles in this direction, relaxing your tongue and focusing on your breath. All this powerlessness, all this fear of being powerful. It's not safe. I don't deserve it. It's different for me. It's not possible for me. Once you've completed 3 going clockwise, go counterclockwise, nice and slow. We're all here doing this together, so just focus on getting as far out with your eyes as you can, bringing some calm to this trauma response of the body freaking out. Whenever you're done, you can relax your eyes and do your hum, count hum. Take your time though, no need to rush. Good, just letting the energy move however it wants to move. When you're ready, you can move back to the side of the hand. And even though I have some resistance to standing in my power, there are so many reasons that I can't or won't. I'm still open to it. I'm open to the possibility that I have the courage and confidence to make a different choice, that I can do this, that I've done hard things before, and I will keep doing them until I'm living my most authentic life. Taking a pause and tuning in, allowing the energy to settle, allowing the energy to integrate, and checking in. How are those somatic sensations? How's the stone over your heart, Francesca? How's that resistance down your spine and the back of your neck, Fola? How are these beliefs that it's not safe or I don't deserve it or it can't be for me? I'm not allowed. Roma, nice. 8-1. Beautiful. Really, really nice. Good, Francesca. We've gone from a 10 to a 5. Cut that sud in half. I'm up there doing it, Terry says. Yes, Terry. I love it. Terry inspired one of my words for our next round together, one of my phrases. So be sure to call you out on that. It was beautiful. Not just in my low, now it's just in my lower back. Okay, good. So we're moving the energy, is what you're telling me. You're saying there's a chance that we can move this energy right out of your body. Good, Anne. 7-2. Beautiful. None of it was your fault. You go, girl. Yes, Tina. Oh, I love you guys. This is beautiful. It's so empowering for me to feel you guys rising in your power too. Joe went from a 7 to a 1. I feel really tired, like I could fall asleep. Yep, that's how I was after my session today. God bless EFT. Also feel calmer. Very good. I can tell that as I move closer and closer to listening to my inner voice, my intuition, rather than trying to please others, I become more authentic and more empowered. Hoorah. 7-2 for Richard. And Bridget says she's breathing easier. Wonderful. What is my power and how is it supposed to feel like? Brand new baby day to discover this new you. So, how exciting. Roma, if this is what I tell people that have a hard time creating that compelling vision of their future. And that's something that I think is really important for us as we start shedding these old layers. There's a whole void here, a gap of who am I now? How am I supposed to operate in these same situations? And if you have a hard time envisioning what that compelling vision of your future is like, find someone that you want to be like. Find a role model, find an expander, find someone who's standing in their power and see how they do it. And then play, pretend at home, stand in front of the mirror. Imagine what you would say to someone that made a request of you that you didn't want to actually do, where in the past you may have said, yes, I will do that. And inside you're like, oh, I really don't want to do that. Imagine what it's like to say, that actually doesn't work for me. Is there some other way that I might be able to help you? To really kind, gentle, compassionate, and assertive way to set a boundary. So I recommend that you start practicing, and then you'll know what your power is and how it's supposed to feel by seeing how other people in their power operate as well. So powerless leads me to quick action to try to fix something. Yes, new awareness that it's okay to see something I cannot fix and not blame or try to figure out the future. Yay, Julie, I can stay in the present moment. Beautiful. And yeah, Richard, power feels like quiet confidence, not needing to apologize for who you are, not needing to over explain what you need. Quiet confidence. I love that. Yeah. EFT opens us up to so much that we were never raised with and never knew we were capable or deserving of. So Good, Judy. Feeling able to move, think, and do a little more quickly, only partly stuck like a deer in headlights. That is to be expected. So just be gentle with yourself. And Katie says, I have a choice. I'm feeling empowered. I get to choose to feel safe. It's not dependent on anyone else's approval. Well, good. I was afraid I was going to go positive too quickly, but it sounds like we're all kind of there. So let's get some really juicy, empowering words in here. Make sure this is where I wanted to go from here. It is. Okay. And Stacey's feeling a little more activated. Sound like I'm the only one. It's okay. Nope. Judy said she's still a little bit activated, still a little bit of a deer in headlights, and that's okay. You don't expect that everything's just going to release in one session. So even though there's more to work on, I have compassion with myself and I can continue doing this on my own. It's okay if you're more activated. Let's keep tapping. And if any of these words that I'm about to say, Stacey, don't resonate with you, change them so that they do resonate with you, because I'm about to go pretty positive on us right now. Okay. Oh, actually, let's honor Stacy, even though I may still be feeling powerless, and anyone else who may also still be feeling that. I'm open to the possibility that I'm way more powerful than I know. Nice full breath as we continue on the side of the hand. Even though I may still identify as powerless, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And even though I may not know another way yet, I'm open to the guidance and support available to me. Good. Top of the head. What if I noticed the power of my thoughts? Eyebrow. What if I embraced the power of my words? Side of the eye. What if I'm surprised by the power of my actions? Under the eye. What if I could release the stuck energy? Under the nose. It's not the truth of who I am anyway. Under the mouth. What would it feel like to step into my power? What if I'm projecting their response out of fear to try and stay safe? What if people actually like me more when I'm in my power? Under the arm. How might I show up differently? Let's do some alternate points. We'll get into the liver points. In my facial expression, in my body language, for me, that feels like shoulders down, chest up. And just doing that can help me feel powerful. So find what body posture makes you feel powerful. Top of the head, in my voice. How can I feel more powerful in my voice? Eyebrow. Could I try that on for today? Side of the eye. And what might that feel like? Under the eye. What if I'm actually amazing and I've just forgotten? Under the nose. I'm open to reminding myself now. Under the mouth. I choose to remember. Collarbone. What if I could own it again? Just like I was little and I'd stomp into a room just knowing everybody was happy to see me because I was the cutest thing in the world. What if I could do that again? Just own it. Under the arm. When did I feel my most powerful? Give you a second to think about that. Top of the head. And how did that feel in my body? I wish I could read all of your minds. I see some smiles and laughs. Eyebrow. How was my life different then? Side of the eye. And can I reclaim that power? Under the eye. I'm tired of feeling powerless. Under the nose. Here's Terry's. What if I could trust that my energy is powerful and that it's for good? Let's say that in an affirming way under the mouth. My powerful energy is for good. And that's why I'm safe expressing it. Thank you, Terry. So beautiful. Beautiful words. Yes. Collarbone. I choose to take my power back from whomever and whatever I gave it to. Under the arm. What if the only thing I need to change is my mindset? Top of the head. Even when I can't change anything else. Eyebrow. What if I can observe my feelings instead of identifying with them? Side of the eye. What if I am more than my fleeting emotions? Under the eye. What if my truth is bigger than that? Under the nose. What if I could stand firm in my truth and power? Under the mouth. My sovereignty and my autonomy. Collarbone, and we'll stay here for a minute. I choose to take responsibility for how I respond to life circumstances. I choose to step out of this victim mentality and take the reins of my life back. Under the arm. What if I do have a say in the matter? Inside of the hand. And even though I may still have work to do on this, that makes perfect sense. I may be rewriting a lifetime of patterns of behavior, patterns of emotions, patterns of belief. And I'm open to feeling great regardless of what comes my way. I'm open to embracing this new way of being. And now I'd love for us to just go to the sore spots, just in case there's any resistance. I'm going to say the serenity prayer. Some of you may know this. If you'd prefer not to use the word God at the beginning, put whatever feels good in there. It's all good. The words are still beautiful. So we're going to say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We'll add one more in here. God, grant me the strength and courage to stand in my power, even when there are things I can't control. Nice full breath. If you're feeling in your power right now, notice where that lives. Does it feel like champagne bubbles in your chest? Does it feel like broadening of your shoulders? Does it feel like standing taller? Terry and I have literally grown from doing EFT. So does it feel like that? Diana feels it in her heart. Absolutely. Absolutely. Does it feel like just a smile you can't turn off? I choose to believe I will have what I need to face what comes in the future. Write it down, Julie. Put it on your refrigerator, your bathroom mirror. Remind yourself every day, like my heart is beating stronger. I like that. Not faster, not more erratic, but with more strength. Is that what you're saying? Like more quality? Nice, Joe. A volcano of energy from my belly into my heart. Awesome, Francesca. Awesome, awesome. Good. My heart is singing. I love it. My heart is open. My heart is full. It feels so whole and wonderful. So, when you get these good feelings, we focus so much on the negative somatic sensations. When at the end of a session, you have a really positive somatic sensation, I use the LI4, the large intestine 4, also called the tiger's mouth. You can pinch one side or the other. It's a headache stopper, but it's also a really nice way to anchor in these sensations. So, you can pinch right here. Tune into that somatic sensation, take nice, full, gentle breaths, and see how high you can turn that up. If the volume is at a 4 right now, turn it up to a 6, 7, 9, 11. If you guys have seen Spinal Tap, you can turn it all the way up to 11. Get that sensation going. I feel it from grounded feet to my crown with the sun shining. Yay, Stacy. I'm so happy to read that. Beautiful. The image that popped into my mind is of a strong river flowing naturally, blocked a bit by a log jam, and we don't have to make the river flow more powerfully. We just have to acknowledge the log jam and allow it to release and let it go. The powerful river returns. I love it. It's very much like my streams of beautiful blue water that we were born into this world like, and we get little rocks in our stream from time to time that just need to be moved out, allowing the energy to flow naturally. Our meridians do that when we tap on them. So lovely, guys. Awesome. Feel free to keep sharing. I do want to let you guys know now in about 3 hours, I'll be doing the EFTU free community tapping circle. Let me see if I can share a link for that. If you haven't already signed up for the EFTU community tapping circle, you can register at this link. And I will be hosting with a beautiful mentor friend of mine named Lisa Reardon, who's in New Zealand. And we will be tapping on people pleasing today. So it kind of fits really well with this theme. Also, I have 2 spots left for my personal peace retreat. It's happening in 2 weeks in the Azores for women. So if you want to do the deep work of reparenting your inner child, integrating your shadow, releasing ancestral trauma, seeing some whales and dolphins, and enjoying a beautiful community of like-minded women, please get in touch with me at info@Amanda Wonderland. I'd love to see you there. Roma, that is recorded. So you can, as you register, it'll take you to a place where the replays will be shown for you guys about the people pleasing. So I am going to go ahead and stop recording. See you guys next time.